You may know Andre Iguodala as a mentor and good rotational player on the Golden State Warriors, but what you might not know is how good he was on the Philadelphia 76ers, where his peak physical prime was. And although the 76ers never managed to make it past the second round with him on the roster, he was truly amazing to watch. Andre Iguodala's NBA story starts in the 2004 NBA draft. The 76ers had just come off of a bad season, and although their key pieces were performing well, they would finish with 33 wins to 49 losses. They'd also be at the running for the top 10 pick, which they would land the 9th overall pick, which they would use to select the 6'6" forward out of Arizona. Andre may not have been the most talented player in the draft, but he was truly amazing to watch. His last year in Arizona, he averaged 12 points and 8 rebounds on 45% from the field and 31% from 3. And although Arizona would lose to Seton Hall in the Atlanta first round, he would prove to be beneficial, shooting 8 for 15 from the field and 2 for 3 from 3. In his rookie year, he would average 9.6 points per game and nearly 6 rebounds on 33% from 3 and 49% overall. However, he did have a weakness, that being foul shooting, finishing his rookie year shooting just over 74%. However, nobody had time to dwell on the weaknesses because they were now in the playoffs. Philadelphia would finish with a record of 43-39, barely squeaking into the playoffs, being a loss away from being the potential 9th seed. They would have a first-round matchup against the 54-win Detroit Pistons. Now, going into this series, nobody really expected the 76ers to come out on top. After all, they were up against the 2nd seed, and they were far removed from their great success in 2001. Andre would average nearly 10 points and 5 rebounds in the 5-game elimination. Andre would shoot nearly 50% from the foul line in the series, and especially struggled in Game 1, just shooting 2 for 6. Between 2006 and 2007, Andre Iguodala would improve greatly, making a step up from 9 points to 12 points per game in the 2005-06 season. He would also shoot slightly better, and for the second straight year, he would play all 82 games. The 76ers had started the season very well, being 6-4 after the first 10 games. They would dip above and below 500, however, by the time the playoffs rolled around, they were the 9th seed with 38 wins. They were 3 games out of the playoffs. Going into the 2006-07 season, the 76ers looked very promising. They had young talent like Kyle Korver and Lou Williams, along with Andre Iguodala, and some veteran talent like Chris Webber and Allen Iverson. Wait, what? Allen Iverson requested a trade? Surely not, he couldn't have. But yes, Allen Iverson requested a trade, and on December 19th of 2006, he would be shipped all the way to Denver after a horrendous 5-18 start to the year. In the 2006-07 season, Andre Iguodala would once make a massive step up, going from 12 points per game to 18, this time in a leadership role. He would also, for the first time in his career, break above 80% from the free throw line. And although the 76ers would start bad, they wouldn't end as bad, winning 7 of their last 10 and would improve to 35 wins. They needed to make a splash in the 2007 NBA draft for them to make that next step up due to being far removed from the playoffs, which they did by drafting Thaddeus Young 12th overall. In the 2007-08 NBA season, Andre Iguodala would improve to nearly 20 points per game, and the 76ers would improve because of it. With an end-of-season record of 40-42, they would be one of 2 teams with a losing record to make it in the East. This time, the 76ers would be in for a much tougher matchup against the 59-win Detroit Pistons. However, the 76ers seemed up to the challenge. With the help of a near triple-double by Andre Iguodala in Game 1, they would take it by 4, and in Game 3, he would have 4 steals with a 41-point combined points by Samuel Dalembert and Andre Miller. The 76ers would defend home court and blowing them out by 20. However, that would be the final win by the 76ers. They would drop the next 3 games. Even despite impressive scoring outings by Andre Iguodala in those final games, they would be blown out. In the 2008-09 season, Andre Iguodala would once again play all 82 games, proving himself as a true Iron Man in the league. He would average nearly 19 points and 6 rebounds along with 5 assists on 47% shooting, and once again the 76ers would win over 40 games, finishing at 41-41, right at 500. The 76ers would be the 6th seed, and they would have a first-round matchup against Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic. He would have an electric series, averaging over 21 points, nearly 7 rebounds, and 6 assists on 39% from 3. However, this series would play out exactly the way the Pistons series in 2008 ended. They would take a commanding 2-1 lead just to blow the final 3 games, 2 of which being blowouts. In the 2009 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers would take Drew Holiday with the 17th pick, adding some good shooting to the team. That would also be the year Allen Iverson and Andre Iguodala would reunite. However, the 76ers would take a beating in the regular season. After the first 30 games, they would be sitting at an atrocious 8-22 and would finish with a record of 27-55, their worst record since 1996. Andre Iguodala would end up averaging 17 points, 6.5 rebounds, 6 assists on 38 minutes a game. The 76ers would fire head coach Eddie Jordan and would bring in Doug Collins. The 76ers also traded veteran big man Samuel Dalembert to the Sacramento Kings for young center Spencer Hawes. Andre would play 67 games where he would average 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. and Iguodala would be named to the all-defensive second team, and the 76ers would improve greatly, achieving 41 wins and taking the 7th seed, and they would have a first-round matchup against the Miami Heat. And a story oh so familiar would play out as they would lose in 5. In the 2011-12 season, Andre Iguodala would spend his final year in Philly. He would play 62 games, and the 76ers would go 35-31 and would clinch the final seed in the NBA playoffs. Andre would average 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. In the first round of the NBA playoffs, they would upset the Chicago Bulls. That would be the 5th time in NBA history that an 8th seed has upset the 1 seed in the first round. However, in the second round of the playoffs, they were not so lucky, as the Boston Celtics would take them in a 7-game series. Whether you want to blame it on their coaching or their play style, or maybe even Andre Iguodala if you really believe that, there was no doubt that Andre Iguodala was clearly in his physical prime on the Philadelphia 76ers, and Andre Iguodala would be traded to the Denver Nuggets in August of 2012.
The game on the line. One shot. Who would you rather have taking it, Iggy or Curry?
Of everyone on Golden State, open shot, fate of the universe on the line, or the Martians have the death beam pointed at Earth, you better hit it. I want Iguodala.